What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Micah David. I am a filmmaker and photographer, and today I want to make a video about the iPhone 16 Pro.
I'm recording you at most.
We are out here in the Jean Dry Lake Beds in Las Vegas, or kind of near Las Vegas. We just came out here just so I can get some shots, photos and everything, and video, test out the iPhone 16 Pro that is over there, honestly, but hopefully it doesn't overheat. Do you want to show the iPhone? Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna try to record a little sequence and everything with the iPhone, test that out and everything, and along with that, we're also gonna get some car photography going with my Canon R7 and the Sony a7 IV, which is being recorded on now. So yeah, we're just gonna see what we can get.
Okay, so in this video, I want to go over the iPhone 16 Pro kind of as a phone and also as a filmmaker's tool, the camera. I want to go over the stuff like the features, the build of it, the specs, and the price. I want to go over my experience after, I think, a month. And I also want to tell you who is this camera really for. Yeah, just go along with it. It's just standard review formula. So we're just gonna somehow try to make it fit in with the iPhone. So let's go over the build first. Okay, so to start off, the iPhone 16 Pro, as I said before, came out in September 20th. It's a casual iPhone Pro price, which is starting at $999. Just stay 1,000 at this point. No, actually, I think it's a marketing tactic, a sales tactic. If you say 1,000 with the zeros, it looks more expensive than the $999. So we got a Super Retina XDR display. The iPhone 16 Pro specifically is 6.3 inches diagonally. It has a 2622 by 1206 pixel resolution at 460 ppi. Haha, you said pp. Stupid. So what is PPI? For those of you who don't know what PPI is, pixel per inch is a measure of resolution in a digital image, or the number of pixels per inch in a digital image. And of course, more PPI means better image quality. You'll generally see PPI in stuff like that's in printing. And in the iPhone 16 Pro, we of course get the dynamic island back again. Whenever since I've seen the iPhone 14 come out with a dynamic island, I fell in love. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. We get ProMotion technology with an adaptive refresh rate of 120 Hertz. In this phone, we have the A18 Pro chip. We get a second generation 3 nanometer architecture in this phone. So again, better efficiency than the last one, better battery saving, better this, better that. So it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, it's just casual stuff. With each year, they're always gonna say, oh, it's 20% better than this. It's 40% better in this area. It's this percent better in this area. And is it really better? Maybe it could be, but on a smaller scale than we may think. Of course, there is some monumental iPhones like the iPhone 14. In the A18 Pro chip, we have a new 6-core CPU with 2 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. We also get a new 6-core GPU. So now going on to one of those bigger changes in the phone, the iPhone 16 Pro, why this one has a big change is because of the new camera control button. So as you can see right here, we have the new camera control button. The camera control button does as it sounds. You press it and it gives you instant access to the camera. So right now I'm on the home screen. If I'm to press the camera control button, it's right there as my finger is. Press it, gives me instant access to the camera. What it do, what it do. Now something cool about the iPhone 16 series, I feel like that is not right to say. This phone is made for Apple Intelligence. If you guys don't know what Apple Intelligence is, it's just pretty much Apple's big upgrade of Siri. So Siri gets a huge upgrade. So it's way more, here, I'll show you. So if I just hold it, pretty cool, pretty cool. I think that's cool, I think it's cool. I like the whole rainbow thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And also so now if I press the button twice, I'm able to type to Siri now. and I can just be like, hey, do this, do this. And I think Apple did a great way to get other people to join the wave of the recent rise of AI. Texting or Notes app, the Apple Intelligence logo pops up and you're able to summarize stuff, rewrite stuff, prompts and everything. So it's pretty cool, and I'm, really excited to see what other updates they make to it. But that's like surface level stuff. It's pretty cool surface level, but you go deeper into it, it sucks. It's one of those things where it looks cool on the outside, but on the inside, it's like the same thing. I tell Siri to pull something up for me, or like, hey, what is this? And it just pulls up, oh, here's what I found from Wikipedia. I don't want Wikipedia. I want what you think.
All right, where are you doing it?
What'd you say?
What?
I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. Are you ready? Hello?
So now when it comes to the camera, the sensor resolution of the camera is a 48 megapixel Fusion camera. But in terms of output, I'm pretty sure it outputs it into 24 megapixels. So pretty much what the Fusion camera is that it groups 4 pixels. Every 4 pixels fuses it together into like a 48 megapixel image and then outputs a 24 megapixel image. So it'll be sharper. It's almost like downsampling. I'm pretty sure it's the right term. Downsampling, upsampling, downsampling. It works in the background. It when you take a picture, it takes photos at different exposures, combine those photos together, fuse once again, and then gives you like the best image. So I kind of feel like that's the thing with Apple and their phones. I'll expand more on this later, but I just feel like a huge part of why iPhone's camera still just has a certain feel to it. Whenever you see an image, you'll know that it's iPhone. Unless, people got the right exposure and color graded really well, sometimes you're not able to tell it that much. Majority of the time for me, I'm able to tell, okay, yeah, that's an iPhone. I feel like they don't allow too much manual control of it, especially with something like this with the camera. It will fuse your images together so you can get the best image and everything. It's just those automatic things. It just takes away from the manual feel, and therefore we can't get the fully desired look that we're trying to go for. So on the iPhone 16 Pro, we can record 4K Dolby Vision video. We can record 24, 30 FPS, 60 FPS, and with the help of the Fusion camera, we can record 120 FPS. And if I'm being honest, I think I had better stabilization in my iPhone 11. It just feels like it. I remember I was recording my iPhone 11, years ago, and I was shaking it pretty much. I was like, moving pretty much. And I look back at the footage, and I'm like, dude, it's like I didn't move at all. And now I bust out with this camera. I'm recording, it says it has image stabilization, and I'm like, where's the stabilization? Do I have to turn it on somewhere? Maybe I'll just have to play around with it more. Maybe I'll come back to this video down the line, and I'll be like, hey guys, correction, the stabilization is pretty good, but I don't know. So far, not so good. We have continuous autofocus. We have 4 studio quality mics. They said we have 2 at the bottom and we have 2 up top, like kind of near the top of the screen. Digital zoom up to 25 times. And that is all I have with the features and build and specs of the iPhone 16 Pro. Now we're gonna move on to my experience and problems with the iPhone 16 Pro. Am I saying iPhone 16 Pro too much? Yo. We just heard you coming by and it was a smoke. Okay, first we're gonna start off with my experience with the phone so far, then we're gonna go into the problems. First things first, huge jump from my iPhone 11. The image quality really feels flexible, but I don't necessarily think it's an iPhone 16 Pro thing. I think it's more of an Apple ProRes and log thing. I like the fact that you get to choose your frame rates after the fact, after you're recording. This kind of eliminates the extra work when it comes into like post-production, like in editing softwares. You don't need to change it up or modify your clip. Now, the USB-C port on this thing is super relieving, and it's just great. I used to see all the time how people are like, oh, now we finally get USB-C. It's so great, it's so great. And it's just one of those things that you don't realize how good it really is until you have it. I never knew I had so much USB-C cables with me. And when you're just casually around, you need to charge your phone. Oh, USB-C cable right here. Plug it in, you're good to go. Oh, I wish I really could get these files quickly onto my computer. AirDrop. Or if you're not AirDrop, USB-C to USB-A, plug it in, bam, import your stuff. Sometimes I'll just take different types of cables and plug it into random things, see if it works. Oh, does this one work? Oh, what about this one? Just play around. It's pretty fun. So much better than those nimble little lightning cables that just ruined everything. Oh, I can't, bro. You got a lightning cable converter? What? I feel like every lightning cable to USB-A I had my hands on, it was always broken somehow. I just got this one, doesn't work. I would have to unplug it, plug it back in, unplug it, plug it back in, always have like a crack on it somehow. Now we get USB-C. Far more better range of stuff for USB-C. So it's really good to see Apple is, making it more compatible with other things. Okay, so here are my problems that I encountered with the iPhone 16 Pro. Here's my first problem with the phone. It doesn't come in that pastel purple color that it does in the iPhone 16. That's something that I need. When I was watching that event, I seen those colors, I'm like, wow, that is amazing. I'm gonna get that purple one. But here's what I realized. I realized that those weren't the iPhone 16 Pros, those are the regular iPhone 16s. Then they come rolling out with the iPhone 16 Pro colors, these neutral, earthy color, natural titanium colors. I don't care for that. I want some color. So my first real problem is that it does overheat a bit fast, and maybe that could be the environment that I'm in. I took this thing to go record out in some dry lake beds in Vegas. It wasn't even that hot out, I wasn't able to record more than 5 minutes, right? And we did get to a point, we did cool this thing down. We started recording it again, but it wasn't feeling it. It was like, still too hot. But like recording straight, that's when it really overheats. When you record, stop it, let it rest, record again, stop it, let it rest, then you should be fine, I think. But if you're recording straight, yeah, it's probably gonna overheat, in my experience. I think we've been dealing with this overheating issue for a while now with like the 14 and 15. And even like with the Pro chip, they said, oh yeah, better heat efficiency and everything. But I have had experience with it. Random times it'll, start heating up. The thing that's kind of funny is that in their events, in the Apple events, they want to stress so much on how the iPhone is good console-like gaming, or it's even better than console gaming. But I bet you if you play a game that's, like they have Warframe on iPhone now, I bet you if you play that game, your phone is gonna overheat like crazy. Is that a good trade-off? Like, oh yeah, it plays games great, but it's gonna burn your hands. So here's what I was talking about before. You have to use like a third-party camera app other than your native camera in the phone to record 4K ProRes. But here's the keyword, kinda. So if I'm going here, I'm on 4K 120. So if I go here and press ProRes, it's gonna give me an error saying ProRes is not supported on 1080, 60 FPS, and 4K. So anything over 1080 at 30 FPS, you're not gonna be able to do it unless you connect an external device. But a way to bypass this is to go on a third-party camera app like Blackmagic. If you go on Blackmagic's camera app and you do 4K, 120, you can use it without the external device, and it will record onto the Blackmagic camera app, and then you can download it from the Blackmagic camera app onto your photos. This is something that I need to do when it came to using my phone out there on the lake bed, because I had a gimbal, but I wasn't able to connect the gimbal with my external device, SSD. Now I said that this phone had continuous autofocusing, which the experience that I had with it was not great, and this experience was actually on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So at the time, I was helping Mills film this video with his iPhone 16 Pro Max, and for some reason, the focus was just not focusing. So we kind of had to maneuver, we kind of had to focus on him first, then, reverse it and everything. We kind of had to play around in order to get the desired look he was going for. So if you do have multiple subjects at like different depths of your camera, I feel like you'll need to have somebody, behind the phone to actually tap which one and everything, because I feel like it'll have a hard time. So you'll need to tap who to focus on and everything. So it's auto, but in the same way, kind of manual. So I kind of like to call it assisted autofocus.
Horrible experience.
Finally, we're gonna dive into who is this phone for. I will say the iPhone 16 Pro is not really needed for you if you're just using it as day-to-day and you're not really needing the camera. If you really want to get iPhone 16, just get the regular ones. As you know, recently we've been seeing trends of everything from the previous Pro camera comes into the next regular camera. So for example, the iPhone 15 Pro, all the features in that one went into the regular iPhone 16. Now we get a bit new features in the iPhone 16 Pro, and I bet in the iPhone 17, we're gonna get all the features in the iPhone 16 Pro, the regular iPhone 17. Now, using the iPhone 16 Pro as a filmmaker's tool, as a camera, I feel like even with the iPhone 11 Pro or the iPhone 12 Pro, I feel like around there is when they started making a recent rise into like, oh yeah, making the phone is like a filmmaker's tool. So from then all the way until now, the iPhone 16 Pro, I still think that Apple is still trying to find their way into the filmmaking door, find their spot here. I don't feel like that this phone is the only phone that you need to, succeed in the filmmaking space. If you're starting off with the iPhone 16 Pro, you want to get into filmmaking, you have the iPhone 16 Pro, yes, I encourage you to record more with the iPhone 16 Pro. It'll be a great camera for that. But you're gonna need to upgrade. I don't think the iPhone 16 Pro is a end-all be-all. I have a specific look that I like when it comes to films and everything. A lot of people could like the way that iPhone footage looks. They think it may look creative, or they think it may look cool, or just the fact that it was recorded on the iPhone, a whole short film, oh, that's cool. Now, with my R7, I plan to somehow, some way, use the iPhone 16 Pro as a B camera for myself, for any B-roll or photos that I may need with my R7. If you're a filmmaker, do I recommend you go pick it up? Yes, I do. It'll always be good to have, a little handy filmmaking tool in your pocket around you wherever you go. If you need to record something real quick, pull it out on your phone and you can start recording. Now, do I think that this camera was a big jump from like the iPhone 15? I think it is a slightly bigger jump than what they normally would make. And of course, the obvious thing is the camera control button. A new button or a new feature that's on the same scale of that is always gonna be a big jump when it comes to Apple. When it comes to iPhones, the smallest thing is considered the big jump, so we kind of just got used to it. It'll be great if we can start seeing more of these type of jumps, more of these bigger, moderately bigger jumps from each phone, more than just 20% better in this, 40% better in this, 60% better. Okay, and with that being said, that will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed my spill on my opinions and everything on the iPhone 16 Pro. I hope that you had a good takeaway from this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Scared me.